Hello and welcome to Life is Feudal, Forest Village. In the last episode, where we were up to was we'd put in our little field. We'd made it through our first winter, created our first little field. Now I went for some flax, and that's because we're kind of like short on clothing. So the idea is this season, hopefully, we'll be able to get a little weaver here built. We'll be able to get some flax from this farm. And then our weaver can then start building, can start creating some clothing. That's just the basic clothing here. They can start making that clothing from the animal hides and the flax that gets collected. We've got our carpenter down here now who's been making carpentry tools. So far they've made about 12 that we've got still in store, because that was another problem we hit. We'd gotten as far as creating a system to create food and what have you, but we need tools, because the tools only last so long, and every time somebody starts from scratch they've got to they start a new job, they need tools. If the tools wear out they need to be replaced, so I was quite keen to get a carpenter made as well. So we're at the point where these two parts are almost done. I haven't assigned anybody to this particular field yet or set up to do anything, because we've only got about three people who haven't got anything to do, so I'm kind of reluctant to go much further with that until I've got more people. So what I've got at the moment, we've got this building here. We've got enough resources where it's now starting to get built. Basically what I had to do is, it was really frustrating. It was all it needed was about 2 here. We only had about like 2 people, 2 labourers. So what I did is all of the resource gathering that was going on in here, I just cancelled it. And I've gone back in, told them to gather some hay, because I need that for there. I then had a look over here. We don't have enough ore, so I've got them gathering iron ore over here as well. We've got some logs needed, so I've got them now to gather iron logs as well. And I'm looking at this, and chances are something's going to get hit. If it sets on fire, it's going to be a bit nasty, because I forgot I should have built a well up here. If you get a lightning strike, it sets a building on fire. Yeah, I'm just pausing that because I'm seeing if that's finished yet. If a building gets set on fire, you need to like put it out with water. I've no idea why. It's coming down. The rain's pouring down, and yet they still have to go to the well to put any fires out. So it's interesting. But I'm just keeping an eye on that, because this building here has now been upgraded. So there's enough room for 2 here. There's enough room for 4. So I can only risk taking 4 out. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in instructions to destroy these 2 little shacks, because shacks aren't that much use to me. Because if you look at the little subtitle below, it mentions down there you don't get any happiness out of it. Maximum of 3 residents. So I'm going to remove these. I think it's under here. Right, so we'll take that one out and that one out. So once these will get deconstructed, there's an order in to actually deconstruct them. Hopefully the people will then pop across to these 2 here. Then I can start building another house. But that's still the priority, because I need clothes. But at the moment we've got... yeah, we don't have enough hay, we don't have enough ore. We still need quite a lot of logs. So there's still instructions out there to gather stuff. So hopefully it'll be enough. You can actually speed them up if there's only 3 of them. So let's have a look and see who's doing what. Right, so they've picked up some fish and put it in there for some strange reason. Oh, you're right, that's right. They're emptying the house. Well, that's good. So they have to empty the house before it can be demolished. So that's good. At least they're not wasting it. They're not actually going out and wasting any food. But what you can do is I can speed this person up a bit. Gives them a kind of like a little buff to go out and do things. So that's quite cool. So let's see. So where we're into now? I mean, I can't quite tell. Oh, so there's 116 out of a possible 324 in terms of flax. I want to have a look and see where this gets to, because we're into summer. So I want to see where this is at when we get into fall, because on this map I'm noticing we get into fall and the winter suddenly kicks in. It's well, I say the winter, the snow comes down and these suddenly become useless. So this is, they've almost getting rid of these too. That's quite good. That, I mean, I'm on 5 times speed, like, but right. So the next thing to do is I want another house. So I'll line it up with that one. So there's the path there. So and I'll get an instruction for another one. Just turn that one around. Put you there. And off they go. They'll start building those. I mean, there's tons of resources still needed, but at least it gives me like the room for the growth. I mean, what I'll do again is I'll get them to build that one. In fact, I think I'll just put that on a hold for now. I'll get them to build that one, but I'll pause it as soon as they're actually getting around to doing it. Because the idea is I want that upgraded to hold 6 people. And then I can turf these people out. But then it means I've got the potential for... Oh, that's a bit odd. I've never noticed that. If you look at there, the windows on that one, it's got like upstairs windows and they're at the back. Whereas on this one, they're at the front. And you can tell the front because it's got the door to go in. I've never noticed that before. That's bizarre, but honestly I've never noticed that before. You know, where they've got that slight variation. Because I'm looking for the... I mean, that's got like a... Wait, hold on, has that been upgraded? 6 of 6, 6 of 6. That's just bizarre. I've honestly never noticed that. Because that one's got a square chimney. That one's got a round chimney. I have never noticed that before. Ah. Well, that's interesting to know. Anywho. So, you've got nothing to do because there's not enough logs. You're short on hay. So, I mean, there are instructions for logs out there. And I think that's how I know. So they're all busy beavering away collecting stuff. We've only got 3 people. There's only 2 teenagers coming up. But I think what I'll do is, I mean, this is going to take a bit of time. So rather than, I mean, I could speed it up, but either way, it's still going to take a while because there's only 3 people able to collect things. I mean, there'll be a few more because we've got these 2 are out of work at the moment. They've got nothing to do. Well, I can see. I'm trying to remember who this was. Wade, that's it. So Wade's back to seed. So that flax is quite good. So maybe I could have gone for like a, I don't know, maybe a 12 by 12 might have been better. I mean, we'll see. I mean, because the trouble is like these, you can get different crops and they can grow at different rates. So flax is a fast growing one. So it's theoretically possible to get through, you know, like two sort of like growth seasons, if you will, you know, within the year, to be able to grow things and harvest them. The one thing I'm quite keen to get though actually is a school, because I think I might put a school in, but just put it on pause for now. The reason being is that with a school, the teenagers can learn, and that way they can well, they'll become more efficient, like when they go into the job market. Oh, it's a bit frustrating that it's just slightly out. No biggie. I think I'll put the school over this side because I can probably fit a couple of more houses down that side. So I think I'll put that. Is that the right way around? Which way around are you? So you're on a corner, so I'll put the school there. But I'll pause that off. It's just for like a little marker so I know what I'm doing, because the idea is, as I say, I want them to be able to go into education straight away, then they become more efficient. I mean, there are other things I'm going to need. I mean, there's at some point I'm going to have to put in a hospital, well, a healer's shop, and I need a herbalist store. So, well, a herbalist hut that will go out here as well. I definitely need to get a forester up here. But anyway, at the moment these are just going around gathering their resources. So I'm just going to pause the video and I'll bring it back once we've made a bit more progress. Okay, so we've managed to get some more hay, some more like other resources now. So there's enough being gathered now to start building this this weaver's workshop. But I mean, there's still a bit of terraforming needs doing first. At least that's what it looks like to me. I mean, the builder's already in there, which is interesting. Now, right, okay, so right, straight up, unfavourable season. So, according to this, we're on about, there's still quite a bit of, you know, there's quite a bit of like resources still left, because we're into fall, and we want to be able to harvest this as much as we can. So what I can do is I can just put in a resource just to say don't bother doing any more work on this, don't bother weeding it or anything, just go and gather everything quickly. As far as I'm aware, I can also, I don't want your inventory, so I can speed things up, see if it'll do things a bit faster. Because there's no point putting any more like seeds in, for instance. It's a bit difficult to tell because the temperature's dropped to about 6, and I want him to clear that field as quick as he can. Because if it's possible, I mean, it might be a case I can get two harvests out of one season. But we'll have to see, because every so often he's going to stop because he's going to have to go and get food, warm himself up by the fire, that sort of stuff. He's still going to do those sort of things. But hopefully he'll be able to clear that pretty quickly. When the weaver's workshop's almost done, I can see. The one thing I'm concerned about though is things like logs, for instance, where I'm going to have to start putting in an order to start making a forester, I think, because I really need to get some more trees put in. So that will be strange. I've lost the plot now. There. Right, so let's see. So your light's at the front. So if I put that one there. Oh, you cannot build in this area. Why not? I mean, the terrain's just that slightly bit out. Yeah, I can put it there, just to the side there. So that gives me enough pretty good like room for the forester to build their the forester to basically go out, chop the trees down, and to actually replant the trees, so it becomes like a self-sustaining area. So that'll be good. So what else was I going to put out here? So these are all the different types of mines. At some point I do need a blacksmith. You need a kiln. There's the furnace. Oh, I've never seen a blast. Oh, the blast furnace. I've never seen one of them. That's interesting. But I want somebody to go out and collect herbs. So this is the herbalist. So just flip that round so that they're facing the right direction. So that gives me a few people working in this area. I don't have enough people to be able to do everything though, to be honest. But at this stage, I want that possibility. To make things go quicker, I want to put a warehouse in here. So that's, if I put that on the edge, so the idea is everybody goes and gathers their things and dumps them in here. So I just want to see what stores what, because I can't remember off the top of my head. So yeah, so all the logs would go into the warehouse. Things like the vegetables, though, they would end up in a barn. So either way, I need to build both of them. So that one we'll put there. Now, please tell me I can put a barn in here. Right, so the barn. Ooh, barn's going to overstretch. So let me cancel that. Can I fit the barn? Well, see if I can fit the warehouse. So there's the warehouse. I'll flip that round. Yay! Right, so we'll put the warehouse on that side and the barn on this side. There you go. That wasn't so bad. So the idea now is these lot, once they're up and running, everyone will gather their things and they'll dump them into one of these two buildings here. Which isn't ideal because it means anything that they gather, people down here are going to have to come all the way up here to get. But it means these will be a lot more efficient. Because normally what happens, you might have somebody here gathers, like, I don't know, 10 vegetables or something. And at the moment they're bringing them all the way down here. Then they're going all the way back out and gathering. Then they're coming all the way back here and gathering. It's not very efficient to do that, so I'd rather have the storage up there. It's a bit of a pain for these people because I'm just hoping that's far enough for them to travel. But we'll just have to see. Because later down the line though I can set up a little I'm trying to remember what it's like. There's like little caravan stables. So what you can do in there is you can house donkeys, I believe. There's one of them. There's one somewhere. There's one where you breed them, and there's one where you actually use them. And you put these you put the donkeys in this building, and you can set up like rules to say, like, oh, you know, all the wood that's in that warehouse there, take it down there, for instance. Or I might just say, you know, do it for like 100 logs or something. I can set pretty good rules to do that sort of thing. So is it on here? Ah, there. So there's the donkey farm. So you've got a donkey farm to breed them. The trouble is, what you do is you go out with you've got to go out and discover animals. So I'd have to build a port. I'd have to then send somebody out to do an investigation or a bit of exploration. If they discover a donkey, I could create a donkey. Was it a donkey farm, I think, or a donkey caravan, or a caravan stable? What was it called? Yeah, I could put those into a caravan stable, but the trouble is, eventually the donkey will die. Now, what you can do is, if you can get a couple of them together, if I can remember where it was, you can then put them into one of these, and they'll breed, and then that way it saves you having to keep going back out and discovering more and more donkeys. So it's very interesting the way they've put this all together. I really like it. I mean, there's a lot of thought gone into it. I mean, I like these sort of things. I mean, like Margot here is off to get warm, but I mean, you can take over that person, and you can do things. So I mean, like over here, like I can go and see what a house is like. So it's a very little small. So it's got its little fire there. They've got some firewood down there. We've got a table. We've got some food on the table. That was quite good. I thought I wouldn't be able to get back out. But you can do all sorts of things with these people. I mean, there's not a great deal left in here. That's not good. But you can go all sorts of places. I mean, I can hold down the shift key and run quite a bit. I mean, I can go in here. I can pick things up, for instance. I can have a look and see what they're carrying. But it's you know, I mean, your normal sort of like game that you play for like city building. Normally, all you're doing is just plonking things down and putting out instructions on what people do, whereas with this you can actually take over the actual individual people, and you can do things, whatever it is you want to do, out and go out, like do a bit of hunting, for instance. I've just got to be careful though, because obviously she's obviously cold. She went back home to get warmed up, so I don't want to like freezing out there. So Wade here is still busy beavering away. I think he's almost done, which I'm quite impressed, because that means he's gone through that field probably about like... We'll see if this clears off. If all of this is gone, you know, if it dies off before he's finished. So he just about did it. Yeah, I'd say he pretty much did it there. Like, so he managed to do 2 harvests. Now I think that was just our first year. So that's not bad. I mean, if you consider that we got into the spring quite late before this place was built, and before well, hold on, I'm just going to get somebody in here. I just noticed we didn't have anybody. Right, okay, so I've just assigned somebody and they're set to make clothing. I've got a choice here of clothing, warm clothing. Clothing does, you need 11 hide and 6 flax. If you want to do warm clothing, you need the hide, the flax, and you need the wool. And I can't do that without sheep. I mean, I could potentially set up a trader and trade it. But hopefully now we should be at a point where these will start producing clothes. We should see this start to come up, and then people will be able to go out and get new clothes, and that should be a lot better for the winter time. There's not a great deal to do during the winter. I mean, resource gathering and what have you. You can set them on just, you know, building things, but you need the resources, and at this stage I don't have a forester in place. I mean, I can gather some more logs, I suppose. Let's chop down some trees, please. We need more trees. Where are they going? Oh, is this the hunter? Oh yeah, you're the hunter. Ah, cool. So I've got them running around just chopping the trees down. I mean, I may as well. The farmer is now finished for the season. There's nothing they can do. I know what you can do is, I could, for instance, I could take them off farming duty. Say right, you're no longer a farmer, you're going to be a fisherman, so that I could reassign them to there. But at the moment I'm quite happy just to have as many people as I can go out gathering some more logs, because I'm in serious need of logs. I mean, where we're up to, we've got the hay, so I need about another 15 stone. So is there any stone in the area we can gather? Wow, we must have really seriously exhausted this area. That gets me about 10. Okay, I'll leave them do that. I mean, that gets me about 34, so there's enough to then do that. Now the school, I think, the school's going to need like a lot of logs, a lot of stones. There's a lot of resources there I don't have. So at some point I need to start thinking of mines. Mines are quite interesting, because you can find mines and you can start sending people to mine, but you're at the risk of like a cave-in, for instance, and then people start getting killed in the mines. So that's resources right here. So for instance here, there's a lumberjack. Right, so there's a stone quarry. Now if I want to build a stone quarry, I click on that and you can see like there's like a little a heat marker, if you will, showing you what you can build. So usually like where it's green, that's where you'll get the most. So in the red you're not going to get anything. In the green we're up to like, ooh, a lot. The idea is obviously you'd build one of these, and that's as much stone as I'll be able to get out of it. And once it's exhausted, that's it. It's finished. It's just a case of moving around here, trying to find out what the maximum I can find. So 756. Ooh, 7750. Ooh. Oh, there. So what if we go over here? Nope. I mean, that looks to be quite a hot spot down there. Oh, it's a pity down there. No. But you can just repeat that for all the different things. But I mean, at the moment, there's what was it again? There was so there's a one for stone, then there's the one for iron, and then there's a one for clay. Because I'm running out of. I don't think I've got any more. I'm down to about 30 clay. Clay is needed for like the school, for instance. I'm going to need 70 clay. So at some point, I've got to set up a clay mine to get anywhere further. What else can we do? All right, so we've got the herbalist, the person who's going to be going out to gather herbs. We'll need to set up a healer. Healer shops are really big. I'm surprised how big these things are. I mean, what I could do is, I mean, you can like terraform this place out here if I wanted to, and give me just a bit more breathing room. So let's see. I only need stone, so we've got somebody working up here for stone, so that's all right. So these buildings here are going to need more stone, iron ore, and stone. I'm going to have to wait until the next year to get the hay. I wonder if there's any more iron ore around here. Yeah, there's a bit of iron ore still around. Any more? Any more? Any more ore? Nope. It's. I must admit, I like the graphics on this because, like, I mean, I'm literally looking out here. You know, I mean, I'm looking at it from a distance, and everything is just like, wow, I can't see anything for the snow. So literally, I'm like, I zoom in, and it's. I mean, that's exactly what you would expect. You know, from the if you've got like heavy snow. So I really like the game. I must admit, it's a very inspiring sort of game, and it's really gets you, like, pulls me in to sort of like want to keep playing it. Even just listening to the music. So anyway, these lot are going to just keep grabbing what they can. I mean, where are you up to? You're doing okay on health and what have you? Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, Jeremy here is really in need of some decent clothing. The tool's about to break. Not too bad. Happiness-wise, we're okay-ish. So I think they just made some clothes. I could have sworn I saw. Oh yeah. I could have sworn I saw like 5 in here. So once they get to about 5, they must like stop and then make them. Now realistically, I don't need over 3,000 clothes, so I'm going to set a limit for clothes as well. I'll keep about, say, 50 for now. So the idea is once they've made about 50, well, I think even that's being optimistic. I mean, we've only got 15. Yeah, we've got 15 people, so yeah, I think that's okay. I'll leave it at that. A nice level limit of 50. I don't think I need any limits for anything else. Not yet, anyway. So that's oats. So we've got a bit of oats. We don't have anything for the herbs. If anybody gets ill at the moment, I'm kind of stuffed until I build an actual. I keep calling it a school, but it's not. It's what is it? It's a healer shop, right? So I might have to flatten a bit out here. So okay, so we've got a problem straight up. Right, that's been built. I've got a problem right straight away. I didn't pay attention there. So there's 3 people in there. So is there enough room for 3 people? 2 in there, 1 in there. That's maxed out. So I need to get this place upgraded straight away. So we'll kick those people out. I mean, it's kind of harsh. I'm kicking them out in the middle of the winter. So but realistically, I need to get this up to the point where that can keep 6 people in here. So I need to house 6 people in there. So I'm not still at 15. So that's 6, 12, 15. So they're just going to gather the resources for this. But clay, right? We're okay for clay. Here I'm going to have to wait until the winter passes over. Or I'm going to if there's either any more ore still around here, they'll gather it. Stone, okay. It'll take a while to get the logs. I mean, how we're doing for firewood, we're at 180, so yeah, the target's 400 and we're only into kind of the middle of winter. Yeah, could have really done with more firewood here. I might have to increase that to 500. We'll see. I'll see how much is left when the winter ends. It doesn't take that long because I'm on 5 times rate anyway. I'm just wondering. I mean, I want to put something into there. I've only got 2 spare people though. That's the trouble. I mean, while they've got nothing to do, they can still help out with the labour and what have you, but I'm short on resources. I definitely need somebody to do the forester's job, because otherwise then the problem I've got is I'm going to have to keep sending people further and further out to get logs, which becomes, you know, less efficient. I'd rather have one person who's dedicated to planting trees and chopping them down. So I think that's probably about as far as I can go, really. I mean, I want to I always want one person who's on labour at least, so then at least I can get something out of this, because otherwise it's going to take quite a while to be able to get. I've just got one person doing stuff. Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll just keep the focus on this. So that's going to take another. I'm going to have to wait until all this lot thaws out in spring so that they can get some more hay. Because I mean, if I look at here, I'm pretty sure there's nothing left during the winter. I could be wrong. Oh, I'm wrong. Ah, now I am wrong. I thought, as far as I was aware, this was all gone by the time you got to winter. Ah. What do you know? You learn something new every day. Right, so they can at least go and get the hay now. So they've got something to do as well. Well, that's useful. So that'll get the hay that I need. Now the ore. I need 60 ore. I don't want to. I don't want to send them too far. Because if they spend too much time away from their home, they start to freeze. I mean, that's a pretty far distance to be travelling during the midwinter. I mean, what is it? It's -6. I mean, really, I want them with you know, proper clothing. I mean, there's still 5, so the weaver made us 5 clothing, but nobody's sort of like gone out to use it yet, so not doing too badly. Oh, that's good. So the forester's now coming up now, so just need that. We've got another person's just another teenager's popped up. So the trouble is, at some point someone's going to die. I mean, these will be getting old, these people, so realistically I'm going to have to get a funeral pyre in here at some point. There's a well. It's a question. I mean, these things will cover quite a distance, and if anybody dies within that area, then they're automatically, you know, cremated on the funeral pyre. Right. Okay. So we've now got a lodger. Let's just check I've reduced everything. So, oh, autosave kicked in. Right. So I'm going to reduce that to 1. Assign someone. So we've got a forester. I mean, I've got options. I can just say, don't bother chopping trees down. Sorry, don't bother planting them. Just chop them down, or I can disable tree chopping. I mean, at the moment there's some trees still left, so I don't really mind. Okay, so we're getting into early spring, so I've still got 2. So what I could do, food-wise, I mean, we've pretty much exhausted all our bread. Now that's an 8 kilocalorie resource there, so these aren't up to scratch in comparison, so I could get them to start doing. I mean, if I did grass, it would be easier. I won't have to keep sending people out here looking for hay. But I think I'm going to get them to do potatoes, because I'm quite keen to get food going. So there's one person there, and I've got one person. Right, so I need two farmers, one for each one. They've got the water to irrigate the place. So once this all starts to thaw out, they'll then switch over to here and start doing that. So that's good. I mean, we've made a bit of progress now, so we should start to see more logs coming through once this all kicks off and they get more logs produced. I'm going to still, for now, I'm going to have to micromanage it myself. Especially once the winter is you know, the thaw's gone and we've got that sorted out. I'm going to start sending more people out here for the resources that I need. I definitely need more hay. I think I had an instruction up here to find some, an instruction for iron ore, but I'm going to have to get more logs and more stone. But I'm just going to keep this ticking over for now until I've seen these little. You can tell there's like little yellow markers on the resources. Like somebody went out there with a little spray can and, like, you know, go and mine this, chop this up. Yeah, I'm just going to let them sort that out. I mean, I should be able to tell once they suddenly grind to a halt and it's a case of, oh, I've got nothing to do. I'm bored. What do I do? Once I start doing that, I'll know they're pretty much finished on that, because there's no point just keep adding more and more instructions to it. Because what I've found is they only do what you do. It is kind of linear. So you tell them to do A, then they'll do A. You've also told them to go and do B, then they'll do A, then they'll do B, then they'll do C, then they'll do D, and so on. It's very linear unless you go in and put that explicit order which says, you know, prioritize. So yeah, I mean, we're getting through another winter, so that's good. I mean, nobody's, touch wood, nobody's, you know, had any problems. But I'm going to wait until the snow's gone, and then I want to put a funeral pyre down, because I know these people will be getting old now. So as once I can see where the road is, then I can put my little funeral pyre in, which is there. So the idea is I'll put that about, say, there, because that covers pretty much. I could. No, I need to cover anything that down there as well. So I'll put that there. Yeah, I'll put one there, and I'll have to put one up here somewhere. That way it covers, you know, the that area there. So, trouble is, I don't know how far that stretches. That stretches just the middle of the barn there. So I need another one that'll cover the other part. So if I line that up there. So that just keeps me kind of covered for these areas. They'll overlap with one another, but the idea is that if somebody dies of old age, typically, they'll automatically get cremated on one of these funeral pies, and you don't get the disease, and it doesn't affect the. I don't know if whether when somebody dies it causes unhappiness, and this just makes it less of an impact. I mean, what does it say? Yeah, it doesn't specifically say. Oh well, fair enough. So, I mean, we're ticking along. So let's see. So they're growing their potatoes, they're growing their flax. We've got quite a few more clothes spare, so hopefully we'll hit that target, and then the carpenter here will just run out and decide, right, okay, I'll now gather resources, I've nothing to do. Not the carpenter, the weaver. The carpenter's already done that. We've reached our limit by the looks of it on tools. Oh no, we haven't got any logs, that's why. So they'll be out doing any gathering orders that we've got for them as well. So that's where I'm just going to do it until I can get more people on board. So that's my pretty much a priority, is to get this house up and running. Once these are up and running, it'll improve the efficiency of this lot here. But I need to start thinking about more farms to grow things. But again, you need more people. More people, come on folks, start making more babies. You can't do that though until this house is built. So either way, this is pretty much everything's hinging on this little house here. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there, and I do hope you've enjoyed watching it. If so, then do please leave a like, as that'll help me out a great deal. If you're new to the channel and you want to see more games like this, or you know, if anything particular you're interested in, do let me know in the comments section below. So yeah, do subscribe, do leave comments, remember to click the little bell icon, and so on and so forth. But until the next video, thanks very much for watching. Bye!